Good morning and welcome to another We Wonder. My name is Chris Pfluger. I am the Chief Development Officer here at We Insure. And today's We Wonder, as with many of them, we pick a different topic that is very much interesting to everybody out there, but also we get a lot of questions on. So one of the questions when you see We Insure, you see the home, auto, and you see the business. But the other question we get is, do we offer life insurance? That's a great question, right? Do we offer life insurance? And the answer is yes. So today's We Wonder, we're going to discuss in a little bit of detail how the life insurance works through We Insure, how if you're a consumer, you can get involved, how you get right to our site and make sure you can do it. And as an owner or an operator, how it works for you. So today we have a special guest, Mark Chabarro. Mark, how are you?
I am well, and thanks for having me. How are you, sir?
I am doing very well. And today, Mark, you are the CEO of iBind IQ, and we work together, we're partnered together on the insurance side. So we will talk a lot about how this works. And I'd like to start off, if you don't mind, tell us a little bit about yourself and a little bit how we work together.
So number one, I'm grateful for the time today and super happy to be here. I've been in the insurance space for, 42 years. The first 30 were in an agency that my grandfather started in the New York area in 1924. We sold that agency out in around 2008. And when we did that, we started a journey to help independent insurance agents and consumers with life insurance. The direct writers historically have done a terrific job of helping their consumers and agents sell life insurance. But the independent agents always struggle with this, including my family and myself. So the technology you're about to see was built by PNC agents for PNC agents. And the technology also helps the agent do this in a manner that doesn't interrupt their daily business flows. We totally understand how busy the consumer is, how busy the PNC agent's life is, having sat in those chairs for all those decades. So we're here to make your life easier. We have an objective of making the insurance agency owner more valuable by increasing their retention, by rounding out the accounts. If you don't sell life insurance, those direct writers have a little way of sneaking in and writing life insurance to try to get the consumer away from you. So I hope you find today's information valuable. We Insure spent the better part of 2 years with my company before the launch, getting the technology in a manner that We Insure was comfortable with. So you will not see any of our company's logos, brands, anything like that. We are part of We Insure. We are your life insurance service team. Your consumers will see and hear us as We Insure. And with that said, I think we'll have a little fun to kick this off, Chris, if we play a video.
Let's do it. Here it comes. It's a quiet video.
Yeah, I don't see the audio.
Mark, you have to interpret this. This looks like it's about life insurance.
Okay. I don't know why the audio isn't going there, but what this is really saying is that there's 4 points of technology that we're going to cover here. And we're going to go into each one and unpack them in detail. And what this is really intended to do is interface at a number of points of contact with the consumer and the agent, again, without interrupting what you do all day long. That little video there about the guy playing basketball is just illustrative in nature in terms of you can go about your life, Mr. Consumer and Mr. Agent, without having to deal with all the things that life insurance has to relate to with regard to the transaction. PNC is very much like life insurance at the application, but after the application is taken, the average process is normally 3 to 4 hours of time between the underwriter and our team to get a policy over the finish line, issued and paid and in the consumer's hand. The reason for that is there's a lot going on in the world today. There's obviously COVID. There's all kinds of international concerns, infection concerns, and that has added to underwriting volumes at the insurance companies. So the average time for an application to be completed is between 90 and 120 days after the application. So this is another reason why this is an extremely valuable service for we insurers, agents, and consumers. We take all of the grief of that part of the transaction away from you, and we make it easy for the people to shop the carriers and get to the application.
Well, speaking of that, that's one of the questions I get also, saying how we have life insurance. Do you have, a number of carriers, or is just one carrier on the life side? Because we're known, obviously, we're known for having quite a few carriers, actually the most in the industry, across, the home, auto, and the business side. So tell us a little bit about, the carrier access.
Yes. On the platform, there are 51 insurance companies, and some of them have up to 12 products each.
Wow.
So our technology guides the consumer right through the journey, so it makes it easy for them to understand. This is another thing that's super interesting about life insurance technology. Auto and home, you most certainly need a consultative approach beginning to end when you're selling auto, home, and business insurance.
Mm-hmm.
Similar on life insurance, but technology has evolved far faster in the life world, where people can go through the application on their own, shop the carriers intelligently without talking to an agent. Now, the technology does provide a way for people to get to an agent if they're stuck and they're confused about it, but it's stunning how many consumers actually go and do this on their own. And we're gonna illustrate some of this right now. So how does this all work? There's a chart up on your screen right now with 4 circles with one at the center, and all the technology that goes on, in the background to drive the application process, the shopping process, all of it drives to a website. Now, Corporate We Insure has a website, which we have up on the screen now, but each franchise owner has the same technology on their website, and we'll show how we get to those destinations. Now, this website is very simple and easy to follow off the WeInsureGroup.com. This is the life insurance tab. Scrolling down, you'll see a little information about life insurance, but directly in the middle where we see that little white box is something we call an iframe widget. What happens here? All of the technology drives to the corporate website. The agents can drive business directly to their own website. This is a mirror image each agency franchise owner has. Now, that said, this is an incredible value for the consumer and the We Insure franchise owner, because this puts the power directly in you, the agent, and the consumer's hands to compete with the direct writers who are selling products that cost typically far more, and gives the ability for people to shop at their own budget and time. Ooh. At the bottom of each site, you'll see disability, annuities, and long-term care, which are also available. And we'll talk about how those campaigns work. Those are intentionally call our 800 number and not on the automated rater where people can quote and apply. Those products are extremely consultative and very confusing in the technology world for folks. So life insurance is not that way. So if we scroll up a little bit again, please, you'll see a consumer-facing video that helps guide the person through the journey if they need a little support. And that little white box right there that's in the middle of the page, we encourage everyone who's listening, whether a consumer or an agent, take this journey on your own. See how easy it is. Answer a few simple questions, and you'll see not only can you shop all the carriers and products, but you could apply and be done with it in a few minutes. You'll see options that don't require medical exams. Those are usually a little more expensive. You'll see express issue options for folks that are a little weary about sharing some medical information. And most people gravitate towards the lower priced, which is the fully underwritten, which requires a lot of back and forth with us and the person's medical team. But it's all there, and it's all laid out in lavender where you'll see it on your own. Really encourage you to take the time to go there. So if we'll go back to the chart, please.
You might have asked you a question on that. So you mentioned there's quite a few products in there.
Oh, yeah.
And life insurance is the focus. So a lot of people look at life insurance at different stages of their life, right? So as you purchase a home or purchase a new home that's much more higher priced, and you may have a mortgage on that, people will purchase a certain type of insurance, life insurance. So, that was my first question. As I see the other products, the annuities and the long-term care, obviously there must be other options for term versus whole life versus, variable type life. Is that correct?
Absolutely. So, when you have 51 carriers, you'll see a variety of whole life, interest sensitive life, and term products. The most consumed far and away is term insurance. It's definitely the most popular because of the pricing structure. However, our white glove service team who follows up on these applications make sure that folks, if they went through the journey on their own and e-signed, that it was the right product for them. Oftentimes, we'll see folks that may thought they had the right product, but we want to, just go through that. Just like an agent goes through the auto and home insurance process, where it's a number of variables. It's budget. Is it the right? If you're quoting an HO3 or an HO6, do they have the right riders? All of that. We do exactly the same thing on the back end of these applications when they come in.
Fantastic. That's great. Well, it seems very comprehensive as we go through. So if you're an agent, you're a We Insure owner or an agent with We Insure, how do you get your clients? Obviously, it's on your website. But can I just send a link out to one of my clients saying, yes, I'm interested, and send it to them?
Yeah. We're going to go around the horn and we're going to show that link as part of this demonstration. So what I'd like to do first is show, we're at the top of the chart now. It says automatic PNC renewal quotes. Well, what does that mean? Now, follow this. This is terrific value for the consumer and the We Insure agent. The We Insure agent has to take no action at all. Corporate has settings into our technology. Every time a homeowner's policy, for example, is downloaded and renewed, the insured will get a call to action. If you could bring up, please, an illustration of the homeowner's perfect. So every time a homeowner's policy renews, they get an offer to, hey, if you haven't shopped for life insurance in the past few years, We Insure could save you time and money.
Ooh.
And there's the call to action. Get your life insurance quote now. Where does this go? This goes to that central website we just showed you on the corporate We Insure homepage. We're going to show in a little while how the agents can use their own, but the agents have to take zero action in this. So every time a policy comes up for renewal, they will get this offer. We're also working with We Insure, the We Insure team closely for life events. So when folks have birthdays and things like that, here's an example of a general email as well, which we're going to get into in a second. If we could just go back to the chart real quick. Okay. So the next one is the automated PNC point of sale quotes. So you have, in our view, the most intelligent technology for property casualty available to the consumer and the agent today with Applied Systems Epic system.
Mm-hmm.
And Applied Epic has announced that it's going to have PNC point of sale quotes automatically. So when a policy is rated for auto and or home, the agent doesn't have to even think about it at that point. We will enable to agents who are interested in this, every time a policy is quoted, hey, thanks for quoting your homeowner's policy with me today. By the way, for another $30 a month, we could get you $500,000 in term insurance to cover the mortgage we just saw on your home app. So that's done automatically. Pretty exciting stuff.
That's great. That definitely is a benefit, obviously, to the consumer on the other end, who may not know exactly where to go, and they're used to separating these things out, right? They're usually like, okay, how do I find someone that can do, this type of insurance? But now, how do I find someone that does life? And so now it's not only there, but it's automatic in many cases. That's fantastic.
It really is. It really is. So the next thing down below is the click and go targeted email campaigns, and This might sound a little trite, but I will tell you, working with your team, Chris, in Jacksonville is just extraordinary. You folks are wonderful to work with, and they work with us basically on a weekly basis on these targeted email campaigns. And what's happening now over the last 8 weeks, we started sending out emails to the entire block of business, and we refresh that every month. So what you're beginning to see now in this ecosystem is renewal quoting, point of sale quoting, and now emails to the entire block of business. So if we could go back to that sample email you just had up a moment ago, this will show, again, we refresh this every couple of weeks, so it's not the same. They're seasonal in nature. And you'll see that the call to action is the same. It's get your free quote now. That, again, once they click that in the email, they'll be driven to the corporate homepage.
Wow.
So now you're beginning to see all these automated tools, at the agents and consumer service, so that they don't have to, take time out of their day, to deal with this kind of stuff from a marketing perspective. Now, Scott, I'm sorry, Chris, you asked me a moment ago about how can the agent enable this, in their daily practice. And let's bring up an example of an email signature. So this is a franchise owner, Wes Witten. You'll see that in his email signature, there are 2 boxes. One of them is actually a link to Mr. Witten's life insurance page. Each of the agents have this enabled. I'm sorry, that's the health link. If you could just go back. Perfect. So this is a carbon copy of what was on the corporate homepage. This is Mr. Witten's life insurance enrollment tool. So if Mr. Witten, for example, is on the phone with a client and he is telling him that he could save them money and time on life insurance, he just sends them this email with his email signature, tells them to click the button and start the journey on their own. And that's all he has to deal with. He doesn't have to get into a conversation about it. Now, here's something else that's really, really interesting about this email signature link. The firms that have these email signature links in their name are seeing applications without even asking for them. Just in the organic traffic of to and from the insureds, whether it's an ID card, a certificate, whatever it might be, claim form, you name it, just the organic traffic of back and forth with the insureds. This drives life insurance applications because it's, again, another call to action. So the agent owner has this, incredible tool right at their fingertips just to begin the conversation. And I'll tell you, what you see now are all 4 points of contact. We have the automation for life events and renewals. We have the point of sale tool on the corporate side. We have the emails on the corporate side. And on the agent side, we have the email signature links and the agent's site. Now, We Insure is the first franchise organization in the country to do it this way. There are a lot of independent agents that are starting to leverage technology such as this with our firm, but this is the first time, and this is really groundbreaking. And I'm really proud to be a part of the We Insure family because you understand how much value this brings the agency owner and the consumer. You know, this puts you directly in better competition with direct writers who are selling products that are typically more expensive, but they get away with it because of their strong brand and trusted relationship with their customers. We're putting the power right in the consumer's hands, right in the broker's hands, so you can be toe-to-toe with them all day long.
And so this offer is getting feedback. If you want to carry some of the best in the country, if I'm not mistaken.
I'm sorry, broke up there a little, Chris.
I was going to say we're getting very bad feedback. Sorry about that. I'll let you finish. How's that?
Okay. Yeah, no, in terms of the value proposition, when you have auto, home, and life, you're certainly doing a couple of different things here, right? You're reducing your acquisition expense because you're increasing your retention numbers. Obviously, the more business you have with that insured, the better off you're going to be in terms of your retention numbers. I mean, industry folks will tell you somewhere between 10 to 15% increase in retention when they have a financial services product like life and or health insurance with you.
Mm.
So this is really, really important for the prospective agents. Now, you also have some agents out there that are connected with real estate, obviously, and mortgage companies. And this, for those agents that are connected that way, you have even a better edge, because what happens in life insurance, we probably all have experienced this, Chris, and that is, as soon as you get a mortgage and you file it in your county of jurisdiction, what happens? Every irritating life insurance person is going to contact you from a 20-mile radius, but you're ahead of them on this. So if you're selling the HO3, the HO6, and there's some mortgage and folks need protection, that's the time to mention it. And just give them your email signature link and say, hey, I see you got a $500,000 mortgage on this, South, a $150,000 mortgage. For a couple of bucks a month, we could, protect the legacy of that home and your family. Let me show you how to do it. I'm going to send you an email. Just click that link and go through the process.
As easy as that. Well,
Yes.
I'll tell you, Mark, I appreciate you walking us through this, in detail, because it is certainly, misunderstood out there and how it works and, how easy it truly can be. And the fact that consumer now can walk through on their own or walk through with a guided, with a professional is two great options, because a lot of people just want to check and see, what's this really going to run me? And then they may opt, to walk through with someone else and say, okay, here's what I'm thinking. Give me the best options out there. So two great options for our consumers, for everybody out there, for our clients, and, for agency owners. It couldn't be more simple. Right? It couldn't be easier to put this on your site, to actually just put it in your email signature and get folks out there and being able to service clients even more broadly outside the normal scope of what you would expect from property and casualty is fantastic. So
Yes.
I sincerely appreciate you joining me this morning and going through in detail kind of what we can do and how we work together. And again, what a fantastic offer.
Thank you all. Very grateful for your time today. Grateful to be a part of the We Insure family. And please, again, don't hesitate to take the journey on your own, because then you'll be able to be conversant about it, with your consumers.
Fantastic. Well, Mark, thank you very much. Until next time, have a great day.
Y'all too. Thank you.